How I married a demon. I never believed in demons. Not in the stories whispered at night. Not in the warnings shouted by preachers. Not in the things people blamed when their lives went wrong. To me, demons were inventions, shadows created by fear and ignorance. I believed that with my whole heart until the day I woke up married. My name is Jhon, and this is not a story I'm proud of telling. It's a confession. If you are reading this, understand one thing clearly. Love is not always gentle, and marriage is not always a blessing. I moved into that apartment because it was cheap, and because I was tired of running from myself. The building stood at the edge of the city, old and tired, with cracked walls and corridors that never felt fully lit. The landlord handed me the keys without smiling. When I asked about the previous tenant, he hesitated, then said, "People don't stay long there." That should have been enough to turn back. The first night, sleep refused to come. The walls made soft sounds, like someone shifting on the other side, and the light in the hallway flickered, even though no one passed. At exactly 9:13 p.m., there was a knock at my door. 3 slow knocks. Primera opened Italiano. A woman stood there, barefoot, wearing a long black dress that brushed the floor. Her skin was pale, almost glowing, and her hair fell straight down her back. Her eyes were dark and deep, and when she looked at me, I felt as though she was seeing something behind my face. "I'm sorry to disturb you," she said softly. "I just moved in next door." Her voice did not sound loud, but it carried weight. "My name is Vanessa. Nothing more. No family name. No explanation." As she spoke, I noticed something that made my stomach tighten. The corridor light behind her cast shadows everywhere on the walls. On the floor, on my own body, but not behind her. She had no shadow. I told myself I was tired, that my eyes were playing tricks on me. I stepped aside and let her in. The moment she crossed the doorway, the room felt different, not colder, emptier. As if something unseen had taken a deep breath, she looked around without touching anything, her eyes moving slowly, carefully. "You live alone," she said. "Yes." "Guarno, you've always lived alone." It wasn't a question. I offered her water. She held the glass in her hand, but never drank. The water trembled slightly, though the room was still. "I can't sleep here," she said. "The walls speak too much." "It's an old building," I replied. She smiled faintly. "That's not what I mean." We talked for hours. Or rather, I talked. I told her things I'd never told anyone, my fears, my failures, the anger I carried inside me. She listened, unblinking, as if collecting every word. When she stood to leave, it was past 2 in the morning. "I'll see you again," she said. "I didn't give you my number," I replied. "Se es mil." "I don't need it." From that night on, she appeared everywhere in my life. At the market, outside my workplace, sitting in places I was about to sit. It was as if she arrived before my thoughts. People reacted strangely to her. Some did not notice her at all. Others avoided her completely. One old woman grabbed my arm as Vanessa passed and whispered, "That woman is not for marriage." Vanessa laughed when I told her. "She remembers me," she said. Weeks pass. I stopped calling my friends. I ignored my family. When Vanessa was not with me, I felt weak and restless. When she was near, I felt calm. One night, she lay beside me, her skin cold against mine. "Would you give me your life?" "Se hasket." "Yes," I answered. She pressed her finger into my chest, and pain spread through me like fire. "Good," she whispered, "because you already have." I woke up alone the next morning. There was a ring on my finger, black, warm, and heavy. Inside it were words carved in a language I had never learned. Yet, understood perfectly. Husband, claimed. Bound. I searched my memory. There was no proposal. No ceremony. No witnesses, but deep inside me, something new. The truth. I was married, and the woman I had married was not human. I tried to remove the ring. The moment I touched it, pain shot up my arm, sharp and violent, like a blade scraping bone. My fingers went numb. The ring tightened slightly, as if responding to my intention, and a pressure settled around my chest, heavy enough to steal my breath. Primera stopped. The pain faded slowly, leaving behind a dull ache and a certainty I couldn't explain. The ring was not jewelry. It was a lock. That day, the world felt wrong. People spoke to me, but their voices sounded distant, as if coming through water. My reflection in mirrors lingered a fraction of a second too long after I moved. When I blinked, I sometimes saw her face instead of mine. Vanessa did not answer my calls. By evening, exhaustion crushed me. I locked the door, drew the curtains, and lay on the bed with my clothes still on. The room smelled faintly of incense, though I owned none. Sleep came hard and heavy. I dreamed of standing in a wide, dark place with no sky. The ground beneath my feet was warm and soft, pulsing slowly like flesh. I heard chanting in a language that scraped against my mind, words spoken by many voices at once. Vanessa stood before me. She wore the same black dress, but it was stained dark at the hem, wet and heavy. Around her neck hung something that looked like a necklace made of bone. You tried to take it off, she said. I didn't agree to this, I replied. My voice sounded small. You did? She said calmly. Consent doesn't always need memory. She raised her hand. I saw symbols burned into her palm, glowing faintly. Marriage is not a moment, she continued. It is a binding. Something moved behind her, tall shapes without faces. Watching. I tried to run. I woke up screaming. My sheets were soaked with sweat, and my throat burned. The ring was tighter now. I could feel it even without touching it, like a second pulse that didn't belong to me. On my chest, just above my heart, there was a mark, a dark, circular bruise, perfectly shaped, as if something had pressed there for a long time. When I touched it, a whisper slid through my mind. Do not resist. I didn't go to work the next day. When I closed my eyes, I saw flashes of blood on the floor, candles burning blue, hands holding me down. None of them felt like imagination. They felt remembered. That evening, the knock came again. 3 slow knocks. I didn't ask who it was. I opened the door. Vanessa stepped inside, as if she had never left. Her presence filled the room, and the air grew heavy again. You're learning, she said, looking at the ring. What did you do to me? Primera, ask it. She tilted her head. I married you. That's not possible. She smiled, and for the first time, I saw something beneath the teeth slightly too sharp. I eased a deep. There are rules now, she said. Breaking them hurts. What rules? She stepped closer. The bruise on my chest burned. You don't remove the ring. Pain flared, sudden and vicious, forcing me to my knees. Speak about me to priests. My ears rang. Blood trickled from my nose. You don't refuse me. The pain stopped. I gasped for air. And most importantly, she said softly, crouching in front of me, you don't try to leave. I looked up at her. What happens if I do? She placed her hand over my heart. Te mark. Pulsed. You die, she said. And I keep what's left. She kissed my forehead, gentle and cold. I'll come for you tonight, she added. We have things to finish. Then she was gone. I locked the door. I pushed furniture against it. I prayed for the first time in years. That night, something scratched from inside the walls. and something answered from inside me.